All right, everybody, this is Aaron Breitman, the Scarlet Faithful. A little bit after the end of the Rutgers Temple game. I have two small kids, so I had to deal with bedtime once the game ended before I could do this. And, listen, disappointing loss. Rutgers loses 72-66 to Temple. Obviously, the storyline without Caleb McConnell for a fourth straight game, without Paul Mulcahy, the first game he's missed after leaving the UMass Lowell game with a shoulder injury. Obviously, some concern there. And, listen, Rutgers showed they looked like a team in the first half without their point guard. We all hope Derek Simpson could step up. To be honest with you, it really wasn't fair to expect him to be able to step up in this type of moment. Listen, Temple has a very good backcourt. Damian Dunn, Khalif Battle. I know I mispronounced his first name, and I forget how to say it correctly. It's been a long week. I apologize, but he was outstanding, and I thought the size differential really bothered Simpson in the beginning, and Rutgers settled for jump shots. Simpson wasn't really able to get in the lane. He did make a tremendous bounce pass to Cliff at one point early on in the game, but Rutgers were settling for jump shots. They weren't making anything, and they fell behind in a big hole. I thought that defensively, there was no intensity early on. Rutgers they looked lost in the first 10 minutes, to be honest with you. Without Mulcahy, they looked like they were missed their leader, and, it took a while to adjust. I thought, honestly, the second half, I thought Peichel did a tremendous job. It was a master class of coaching, shortening or lengthening the game. The full court press really bothered Temple. He stretched the game out. He got Rutgers got into the bonus, I think, with 11 minutes to go in the game, they had every opportunity to win. They were down as much as 19 points. They got it down to 4 in the final seconds of the game. They lose by 6, but the story really, Rutgers is 1 of 16 from three-point range. Temple, made 9 threes, so that's 8 points right there, which is just, you make 1 3-pointer in the game, which was a late 3. I think with like 15 seconds to go, Derek Simpson hit a 3. So they were just missing it was a horrific shooting night for Rutgers. They were, I think they shot under 50% in layups at 12 of 25 inside. They shot 19 of 29 from the free throw line. I do think that's, that Simpson struggled. He was 1 of 4. Cliff struggled. He was 3 of 8. But then yet Cam was 7 of 8. Hyatt was 5 of 5. And Mag was 3 of 4. So 19 to 29, it's not great, but it's not awful. 66%. Yes, if they would have made a few, really, if they, you make 2 more threes and 2 more free throws, and it's a different game. But that's easier said than done. But I thought, the intensity of this team in the second half, the defense, they created a ton of turnovers. They did not capitalize on those turnovers, and that was really a problem. They turned it over a ton in the first half. They were much better with the ball in the second half. But they only held, I believe, a 19-16 edge in points on turnovers, off of turnovers. And they were like +7, I think, on turnovers. So that's actually not very good to not take advantage of it more. And then I also thought, aside from they lost the rebounding battle, they were -4 on the boards. They did outscore them in the paint, but not enough. But then Temple's bench, obviously that's a battle coming off the bench, so not a normal, but they got contributions from multiple guys. And Rutgers, they're really 6 deep right now. I thought Andre Hyatt, solid again, encouraging. Cliff played well. He had another double-double. He is trying to, showcase his mid-range game, which, isn't always maybe, I think the timing of it at times, when he does decide to take some mid-range or longer jump shots, I think situationally could be a little better. But overall, listen, you can't complain about Cliff. I did think that, although I guess I will a little bit, because, listen, we're holding him to really high standards, right? We think he could be, Big Ten All-First Team. We think he could be a first-round draft pick. Those 3 missed free throws in a row at one point in the game I thought really hurt them. And defensively, he did not play great tonight. So I thought that was definitely an issue. I saw some criticism of Cam. I don't really get it. Yes, he was 0 for 5 from 3, but he finished with 17. He had 5 boards, 4 assists, 4 steals. The guy's just a natural stat stuffer. And he had a bad shooting night. He finished with 17 points. So let's cut that out. I forgot what it's like after a basketball loss, especially in November. I mean, I get it. Listen, they lost to St. Bonaventure 3 years ago in November on a neutral court, and it felt like, the walls were collapsing. Last year we lived through 3 straight, the DePaul game, the Lafayette game, the UMass game. This is different. This is a different category. This is not a bad loss. This is a team that just beat Villanova. Yes, they lost to Wagner in overtime. Wagner's a pretty good low major team. They lost to Vanderbilt, who's still a top 100 team in the SEC. Temple's a top 100 team. This is not a devastating loss. It's probably going to go down as a quad 2 loss. Temple was picked 5th in the American. They could make the NCAA tournament. There's no doubt. And you're going at it without your best defensive player and your point guard. And Rutgers, it showed. They missed that perimeter defense, and they missed the offensive flow. The spacing was not there tonight. They just looked lost at times. It wasn't until they started pressing and they dictated the action that they started to relax a little bit. They started to play with energy. And that's why I really thought, people are going to point to this as a bad loss. I thought it was a very good coaching job by Peichel in the second half. The way he implemented the press and the way he substituted, I thought Jalen Miller, gave them a little bit. He stepped up and made that jumper. He played good defense. I credit Peichel for never giving up on Oscar Palmquist, and I don't want to make any derogatory statement, but he was 0 for 4 off the bench. He's been given opportunities, and unfortunately, he can't hit a shot when they need him to hit a shot. And I know he's a hard worker. I know he does well in practice at times, and I'm not saying Peichel shouldn't give him a shot again. Listen, Peichel was looking for answers. He wasn't sitting on the bench and just hoping things would change. He was active and. Giving Palmquist a shot, you can't really criticize it. I'm just lamenting on the fact that, it's just upsetting that the kid hasn't been able to come through. But for no lack of effort there for sure. Miller, I thought, gave him a little bit. And overall, Mag, he knows his role. He's not trying to shoot a bunch. He's getting rebounds. He's still learning. He's still raw. Defensively made some mistakes. Defensively made some plays. I think he's a good 5th player in your starting lineup. He's not going to be, a top 3 guy right now. And I think the emergence of Hyatt, to be honest, he's looking more like he should be the starter over Mag when Caleb does come back. Now, the biggest question is Caleb and Mulcahy. How long are they out for? Peichel said after the game, I was on the press conference. I didn't get a chance to ask a question because my kids were running around. But, basically that they're game to game. If you heard the announcer early in the game, he said that Caleb looked really good in shoot around today, that he was dunking the ball, that he thought he was close. And I've been hearing the same. And I think he is close. Listen, I'm happy they held him out tonight. I don't rush him back. A loss tonight we can live with. We can't live with Caleb coming back too early and then re-injuring the knee and being out 2 months. So big picture wise, you have to and you have to do what's right for them. Like they need to be healthy before they come back. So I think Caleb's close. I think Mulcahy is probably maybe even a little more concerned than McConnell at this point. Shoulders are tricky. I know people that have had shoulder surgeries. I'm not saying that's what he needs by any means. I'm just saying shoulders can linger. Shoulder issues can linger, and we'll see what happens. Peichel did mention he's getting rehab. So, listen, it could be a muscular issue. It could be a strain. We don't know specifics. So, obviously, yes, 3-1. Disappointing night. Certainly not reason for panic. I forgot what it's like when people on social media panicking after one loss. This isn't football. Good teams lose 10 to 12 times a season. This is not a comparable loss to any bad loss last season. Put it this way, if this is Rutgers' worst loss of the season, you'll take that. So gladly. The key now is not letting it snowball. You have Ryder at home on Tuesday. Ryder played, lost to Providence by 1 point at the Duncan Center, where Providence never loses, and Providence, barely beat them. So I think that that's a tough game. Ryder's gonna be fired up coming to the rack. So recover over the weekend. Get ready for Tuesday. Take care of business. Get through the holiday, and then you're going to Miami in a week and a half, and hopefully McConnell and Mulcahy are back. We'll see. I'll keep you posted on that. But overall, I just want to say that, yes, it's a disappointing loss, but it's a long season. And I think they'll learn from this. And I think the younger players will get experience from this. I think, Simpson will learn from this. I wish he had distributed the ball a little bit more than shooting. He would, I think he was second in shots at late in the game. I don't know if it finished that way. But I would have liked to see him try to distribute more in the first half than look for his own shot. But he took what the defense gave him, and that's, you got to credit Temple for, I thought Aaron McKee coached a good game. But overall, I think he'll learn from this. I think, Jalen Miller's getting a little bit better. I think, Mag will learn from this as well. And I think as a team, they're going to get better. So hang in there, and on to football on Saturday. Thanks for listening and watching here once again at the Scarlet Faithful.